This is my chapter called The Pentagon Attack Papers, which is intentionally titled after Daniel Ellsberg's revelations in Watergate that broke Watergate open, called The Pentagon Papers. One of my most important discoveries, all from official and public sources, putting the dots together, is that on the morning of 9/11 at 9:32 a.m., which is long before the official story says anything hit the building, regardless of what it was, a bomb went off inside the Pentagon, at least one bomb. There was a massive explosive event inside the Pentagon at 9:32. How do we know that? We know that for certain from a number of lines of converging evidence that make it 100% certainty. The most important, and the first that I came to know, was that there are still Pentagon clocks, large wall, battery, wind-up, battery-operated clocks, that were all stopped, multiple clocks, at almost the same time by the explosive violent event at the Pentagon that morning. All of those clocks are stopped between about 9:31.5 and 9:32.5, but the official story says that Flight 77 didn't hit the building until at least 5 minutes, and the original official story said 15 minutes later. So obviously, whatever caused the clocks to stop at 9:32 wasn't caused by something that hit the building at the earliest at 9:37, which is the current official story of Flight 77 hitting the building. So from there, I realized, and these clocks, by the way, these stopped clocks that the Pentagon, officers at the Pentagon recovered from the Pentagon debris. One of them is in a plexiglass case at the Smithsonian Institution, at the Smithsonian Institution's own 9/11 exhibit. Others of them are on official U.S. Department of Defense websites, the U.S. Navy website. You can go there today. And in my Pentagon Attack Papers, I give the URL where you can still go and find it to this day. So these are official sources that prove that the official story, not only of what, but when the Pentagon was attacked, is false. There are other important converging lines of evidence that there was a violent event, almost certainly bombs or a bomb, at the Pentagon at 9:32 in the morning on 9/11. Another official document, the FAA's, the Federal Aviation Administration's own official executive summary chronology of September 11th, reads that the attack at the Pentagon happened at 9:32. Denmark's about-to-be foreign minister, Per Stig Møller, was in a building where he looked out and he saw the first fireball at the Pentagon on the morning of 9/11, just by happenstance. He looked at his watch, it said 9:32. He immediately left the country and flew back to Denmark, where he gave radio and television interviews, where he told all of Europe that the Pentagon attack happened at 9:32. Last night here at the conference in Chicago, I was interviewed by documentarians who were doing a film on 9/11 for Italy and for European television. And when they learned that I was actually doing investigation and bringing out facts about the Pentagon attack, they asked me the question before the interview. They said, why doesn't the 9/11 Truth Movement talk about the Pentagon attack? Why do they only talk about the World Trade Center, or mostly about the World Trade Center attack? And they told me that in Europe, 9/11 for years only meant the Pentagon attack. The World Trade Center was peripheral for them. Whereas here in the United States, it's exactly the opposite. And there has even been a kind of taboo within the 9/11 Truth Movement to looking at the facts, let alone talking about them publicly, about the Pentagon attack. Well, I don't honor taboos because I'm about truth and bringing the truth to the public. Now, some of my inside interviews, because I work for the Department of Defense, I have interviewed people who still work for the Department of Defense who were there at the Pentagon that morning. One of the most important interviews is with an Army financial auditor from the Army base in New Jersey, Fort Monmouth, who was temporary duty assigned to the Pentagon before and on and a little bit after 9/11. He's willing to go public. I have his name and I'm willing to give it to a grand jury or a congressional investigation, etc. He told me that he and his two colleagues from Fort Monmouth, Army auditors also, came to the Pentagon every morning for a couple of weeks before 9/11 and on 9/11, that they arrived at the Pentagon Metro stop at approximately 7:15 to 7:30 in the morning. and that on the morning of 9/11, not before and not after, but only on the morning of 9/11, there were special bomb-sniffing canine dog teams with camouflaged handlers, dog handlers, and bomb-sniffing dogs, multiple teams of these, at the Pentagon Metro stop just that morning at approximately 7:30, which is absolute proof that at least the Pentagon police, who probably were the bomb squads with the dogs, that at least the canine teams, the bomb-sniffing teams at the Pentagon Metro stop on 9/11 had anticipated a bomb attack for whatever reason, for whatever intelligence. The Pentagon itself anticipated a bomb attack of some kind at the Pentagon on 9/11. And there were dog bomb-sniffing teams at the Pentagon Metro stop 2 hours at least before the bomb went off at the Pentagon on the morning of 9/11.